individually going to do about it. Weekdays on 910 a.m. Superstation. Good morning, Metro Detroit. It's Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. How are you this morning? Time now is just past 6 o'clock in the morning. If you've got to be there by 7 o'clock, you've got 59 minutes to get there. Listening to 910 a.m. Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. It's 313-778-7600. Detroit and everybody who's listening, no matter where you are. Good morning, Brother Rivers. We're out in Chicago or Iowa. I don't know where you are so far this morning. Listen, y'all, apparently the news has been just hopping for the last 24 to 48 hours. And that's excluding the fact that the former president of the United States got arrested and arraigned yesterday. We don't really have to talk about that. Listen, and the reason I don't want to talk about that is because, let me just tell you, we've got today, I get 56 minutes. We've got tomorrow, Thursday, we've got 56 minutes. You'll know that Friday is Good Friday and Easter is this weekend. And so that many of the people, the hosts, the staff, and everyone here at the 910 AM Superstation family and the Word Network, so that they can spend this holiday time with their family, we will have pre-recorded shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be back on the air. Y'all know I will be back Monday morning live. But the only live time that I've got to actually talk to you, to hear your whatever your concerns are, so you can voice what's on your mind at 313-778-7600, is today for 56 minutes and tomorrow for 56 minutes. And y'all know that the former president of the United States loves to be the center of attention. And y'all know that how I really feel about things being all Trump all the time. And so that's why I want to talk about other stuff, because if you've been paying attention, there's a whole lot of other stuff that's been going on. Listen, apparently, even though the law is pretty clear about the job, the role of bailiffs, even though the law is very, very clear about self-help and about the courts not wanting people to wind up getting violent when it comes time to like repossessing cars or putting people out of homes, there's a court procedure. There are steps that you take in order to try and right or wrong, or find some sort of a solution to civil matters. But all of that went out the window yesterday. If you paid attention to the news here in the city of Detroit, several of the bailiffs from Wayne County and 36th District Court wound up taking a crew with them to go toss somebody out of one of these little bitty, very, very, very tiny houses that the city has put up over in, I don't remember the name of the street, it's over on the west side, where they've started this little tiny house community. Now, let's think this through. Hold on. The folks who, the point of the tiny house communities in every city where they are is to get the homeless people off the street, to get those folks who are sleeping up under the bridge, to get those who are chronically homeless into a form of shelter. It might not be the same form of shelter that you and I have, because we work every day and things like that. These are people that they are in. There's an entire population of folks who cannot afford. Good morning, LaJoya. In order for you to be up in LA, I'm on at 6 o'clock, so it's 3 o'clock. I really, really am happy to hear you. See you joining the feed. So apparently they've got tiny house communities out there in LA as well. They're putting them up all over the country. And then you expect that the people who are chronically homeless, who don't have any money, who don't, thank you, Marcia, it's over on Monterey Street, right off of the Lodge Freeway. You expect that the people that you put into these homes to try to come up with the income that it's going to take to maintain the home on a every month basis. Anybody who thought that that was going to happen and that those people did not need a continuing handout was a fool. You are a fool to think that this is a situation that we're going to give you a 300 square foot house with a little bitty antenna in the back and you out there on your own. You do not, it says a church owns those tiny homes. No, the church and there's a nonprofit association that the city gives to, because I'm involved in a project over in Highland Park where they're doing the same thing. Y'all have seen the last time they tried these little things, the successful program has been building those little, I call them Jimmy Carter homes, they Habitat for Humanity homes. Those are actually sizable little homes that people can move in and live and things like that. These tiny house communities, they are very, 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 very small. I mean, seriously, my apartment has more room in them than the tiny houses. And when you put somebody in those things, you need to know up front, those folks, this is not the population that they're going to go to work every month, that they're going to be able to pay the rent. I mean, listen, how many of y'all know you've got a friend or a family member who's on Section 8 and they wind up getting in the Section 8 buildings and their rent is $25 a month and they still don't manage to pay the $25. They wind up 5, 6, 7 months behind. Certain populations, we got to deal with the fact those people are not going to be able to do that. And so you've got to have a program in place to try and deal with it. What you don't do is you just show up, you send folks over with bulk and just say, throw them on the street. I don't care. Throw them out. That's not the solution. It's never going to be the solution. You're never going to be able to convince me that's the solution. But if you saw any of the news coverage last night, yesterday afternoon, this has been an ongoing thing because members of the community actually stood up. Those are the two stories that I really want to focus on are where members of the community actually stood up and helped out. And you know what? We ask for this all of the time. We complain that members of the community don't actually take a real role in what goes on in the community. And yesterday, twice, y'all showed me that's BS. Members of the community stand up. And what happened over at the tiny house? If you've seen the footage, what happened, the people that stood up with it, they knew that the bailiffs were going to come. They apparently had already helped the woman relocate her personal belongings out of the house, but they wanted to take a stance and say, this is not how you handle this. You don't wind up evicting somebody from these little bitty houses. And so they sent the bailiffs away initially, and the bailiffs went and came back with a lot more brute force. And some of the worst pictures that I'm ever going to see about what happened inside the city of Detroit yesterday was people, members with the guns on their hips, not the Detroit Police Department, but the bailiffs and their extra backup, grabbing African Americans. These were black bailiffs grabbing black people, brutalizing them, throwing them down. We gonna stop them because we can, because the judge is gonna back us up. I'm a little worried about whether or not the judge is gonna back you up on that. Don't think that the judge said use whatever force necessary to get rid of however many of the people that's over there. Listen, if somebody's got a signed order by a court, by a judge who said use whatever force necessary, take some people with you, hurt them if you have to. If there's an order out there, I want to see it. Somebody, y'all know my email, Carrie@theurbanconservative.org. Send it to me. I dare you. I really want to know if it's there, because that's when we want to call out the judge who actually said, use whatever force you've got to use. Go over there and throw them people out. That was a horrible story. Now let me tell you the good one. All right. Another instance of members of the community actually stepping up and helping out. You know that you've heard Minister Malik calling in for the last several weeks. Members of Detroit 300, Ferry Brent, the actual police chief, the current deputy police chief, all of the members of the law enforcement community have been hunting for this neighborhood terrorist who actually decided to break in and rape a 80-year-old woman because she didn't have any money to give him. Everybody said, oh my God, how can this happen here in our community? Well, we know how it can happen in our community. But they've been hunting for this man. Yesterday, within, I think it was about an hour of the time that I saw that the Detroit police actually released the name and the mugshot of the young man, the story broke that the man is in custody. And you saw, if you watched the news last night, you saw that all of the news covered Trick coming over and being interviewed, because y'all know that he offered $5,000 for the man's head. There's a whole nother story behind it. We really want to wind up handling things that way. And other members of the community got involved with working with the Detroit police, because the members of the community elected to be the eyes and ears in the community. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't an hour, it might have been an hour and a half of the time that the Detroit police released his mugshot. They found him and he was in custody. Period. That's what happens when members of the community work together with law enforcement. I want to congratulate the members of the community that stepped up and helped the members of the Detroit Police Department. B, kudos, because y'all know Curtis will tell you that he says that I call out the Detroit Police Department as often as I can. But listen, in this case, things work the way that they're supposed to work. They developed their leads. They worked the case. They decided who the person was that they were looking for. They released that, and when they couldn't find him on their own, they released his name and a mugshot of him to the community. And within an hour or so, they had him in custody. Whenever things work that smoothly, y'all know that they can work that smoothly every day. So I want to see it work like that over and over and over again. Whatever we've got to do to try and encourage it and to make that happen, that's what I'm pledging to do. We need to do that as often as possible. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get rid of some of the criminals on the street. Now, I'm going to take you back to a story I didn't really have time to cover Monday because I knew that, the Trump stuff would wind up, and y'all stepped up on Monday. Everybody wanted to talk about Trump and the fact that he was going to get arraigned on Tuesday, and the fact that now he did get arraigned on Tuesday. But there was a basketball game that was played on Sunday. The NCAA Women's Championship basketball game was played on Sunday. And the two teams that had wound up going down to the wire playing for the championship, Iowa and LSU, they both have some dynamic players on the team. The truth of the matter is, whenever there's a championship team, the team has dynamic manners. Very, very talented athletes who are on the team. Whenever there's the whole point of a championship game is you've got two championship quality teams playing against each other. At the end of the day, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, period. And you do what you can to live and play another day, because you know good and well that those two teams can play again the day after tomorrow, and it might be an entirely different outcome. If they play 6 weeks from now, that can be a different outcome. That's the nature of the game. So two teams played earlier in the championship. The Iowa team and their leader, the team captain, young lady by the name of Caitlin Clark, had made a gesture with her hand across her face. If you've never seen John Cena back in the day when he was the WWE champion, he made this little, and he made it famous because, trust me, I had to take my son to a bunch of WWE, and my son and my nephews, and you get used to them running around the house, slamming on the floor, stepping up, doing the little wave the hand in front of their faces, saying, "You can't see me." That's a motion that was made famous by John Cena. But it's trash talk. Every sport has trash talk. When I started doing the research saying that I wanted to talk about this on Sunday night and Monday morning, you'd be amazed how many articles there are out there about the history of trash talk, who the people are. There are a bunch of different articles about who actually is the king of trash talk. And let me say this, they've been writing those articles for 15, 20 years. There's so many different ones about who's the best at it, who does it. It's used to get into the head of your opponent. You do what you can and say what you can to get them off their game. Because when they're on their game, when they're really, really focused and on winning, they're going to beat you. Understand this. When I was trying cases, I did it. I do what I can to me. Y'all can tell from the personality, I'm not this shrinking violent kind of person. I do and say whatever I could to get in the head of the person on the other end. Whoever's opposing me at that moment, you need to understand. I've read all of the reports. You read all of the reports. I prepared for the day as much as you did. But I'm going to do whatever I can to knock you off your game, because I'm going to use that extra little edge because I'm a little bit that aggressive and assertive. Well, I don't mind hurting your feelings in order to win. But we're going to have to talk about that more when we come back on the other side of the break, because it's 6:14, and then we'll start to take some calls. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. I want to talk about trash talking, whether women can do it the same as men, and who on earth ever told these folks that a white woman can do it and get away with it and a black woman can't. That's when the First Lady of the United States let her color show. That's what I want to talk about when we come back on the other side of the break. 313-778-7600. We'll be right back.
This is report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
Hi, this is PG. Today's topic is about school buses and when drivers need to stop. I am here with Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barron and Farmington Hills Police Chief Jeff King with an important traffic safety tip just for you.
When the lights are flashing yellow on the school bus and you're driving on a two-way roadway, that means to slow down, pass with caution, and be prepared to stop.
When the lights are flashing red and the stop sign is extended out, you are required to stop, keeping a safe distance from the bus. Do not attempt to pass. This includes drivers going in the opposite direction. You too must stop if there is no barrier wall or mule.
While the stop sign is extended out, the school bus is loading and unloading students.
All traffic should remain stopped until the stop sign has been retracted, the doors are closed, and the bus proceeds to move forward.
Let's stop.
Together we can keep
our kids safe.
This traffic safety tip has been brought to you by PG and the Two Chiefs.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
The 910 AM live stream can now be seen on Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, YouTube Red, iPhone, iPad, Android phone, Android tablet, Amazon Kindle Fire, any Windows phone, or watch us live at 910amsuperstation.com.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. So just real quick, I want to talk about the reaction to the two young ladies who played in the NCAA championship game on Sunday night, and the fact that there was a different reaction from the public, from the members of the general public, when one of the players, Angel Reese, decided to feed back to Caitlin Clark the "I can't see, you don't see me" hand gesture that Caitlin Clark had done to her, not earlier in that same game, but earlier in the season when they were playing in the leading up to that game. I mean, even Caitlin Clark has now come out and put out a couple of different videos where she said, look, she had the right to feed it back to me. You know, I had done it and things went right. I don't need Caitlin Clark's permission in order to say. What I want to talk about is the reaction from the folks who said that it was perfectly all right and they celebrated Caitlin Clark, the little white girl from Iowa, when she did it. But when Angel Reese did it back to Caitlin Clark, oh my God, these folks in this country lost their minds and said, oh my God, that's unladylike, it's unsportsmanlike, oh, sports is in the gutter and things like that. The young lady, Angel Reese, during the interview, the post-game interview, she called you out. She said, listen, all that you've said all years, I'm a thug, I'm no good, I'm horrible, all of this other stuff. Well, hey, we won, and here we are. The next day, Jill Biden, Joe Biden's wife, the First Lady of the United States, had the nerve to say, I'm going to tell Joe, I watched the game. I went to the championship game. Both teams played their heart out. And I'm going to tell Joe that he needs to invite both teams to come to the Rose Garden so that we can celebrate them both. We know that we're going to get LSU there, but I think we should also bring Iowa. In what world does the losing team get invited to go to a Rose Garden ceremony at the White House? And y'all know good and well what the answer is. It's the world where if a white girl does the little trash talk and the hand gesture, she's celebrated as aggressive and a champion. And oh my God, we need to hold her up. But when a black girl does the exact same thing in the game where she beat the white girl's team and she led her team to a championship, to a national championship, folks lost their mind. Y'all know exactly what the reason is. You know what the problem is. And even though the White House is now backtracking and saying, no, listen, y'all, we're not inviting the losing team. We're inviting LSU. They're coming on their own. And there are members from LSU who have put out their own statements on Twitter that said, never mind, Jill Biden, our community helped put your husband there, but never mind. If you think that we need to celebrate and let other people come because it ain't good enough for us to have our own thing, we're going to go see our own First Lady. We're going to go see Michelle Obama. And several of them, including Angel Reese, have posted said, never mind, we don't have to go. Understand this. You're not putting them, this newer generation is not winding up. They're not trying to follow the rules of the older generation. They're setting their own lane. They're building these. If, in fact, you want to wind up being racist, if you want to wind up pushing all sorts of crazy stereotypes, guess what? You live in that world. We're going to live in ours, and we're going to stay in our way. Tell me what y'all think about that. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. Let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Jihad. Good morning, Jihad. How are you?
Good morning, peace. Good morning, peace. Ramadan Mubarak. Hey, brothers, it just goes to show you the mindset of this country. And what you're saying, you're absolutely right. If it had been the other way around, that Iowa had won that game, it'd have been all over every channel. They'd have made her the young lady, a national hero. And if you pay attention, basically Iowa was the white team. The other was the black.
Y'all listen to what Jihad said, because I don't know if I wanted to say it. I was trying to walk that line and not say it, but it was, if you watch the game, the white team, and this happened, y'all understand, everybody that ever watched Larry Bird play, you understand how things have been. The white community looks for their white champion in whatever sport it is. They're not going to give the accolades to the black athletes. And when you get a white one who comes along who can play, oh my God, they will give him the presidency. Go ahead, John.
The great white hope syndrome. And we have to see it for what it is. This is 2023, brother. And it is what it is. And it's time out. And like I will continue to say, the young people, they have a different mindset of our old minds or whatever. They ain't taking it.
They ain't taking it.
Bottom line, they're not taking it. I understand. And a lot of times we become blind to certain situations, but it is what it is, brother. It was based, if you looked at them down that bench, I think they may have one or two of us on there, and they was on the bench.
But the Iowa team certainly featured their white players. In a game that's generally dominated by African Americans, the Iowa team featured their white players. You're right.
And and just my natural, it's natural for me to cheer for my own, especially after what we have suffered over 468 years. If it's within myself, I cheered because I saw, I see what media does. How did the portrayal like you say, you ain't never seen where we gonna invite both teams, understand like that or whatever. We know what you're doing, what you're saying.
And I know what she's doing, but the thing is, and the fact that the White House is putting out statements saying, oops, she slipped, you know, they've got their communication people working on it and all of that, who would let her say it? None of that counts. What counts is what came out that woman's mouth. She told who she was when she opened her mouth and said that. We know what she meant.
Because those were her true feelings.
That was her. She told on herself that day. Right.
I'm going to say this. God exposed it. Now, those that don't want to accept that, that's on them. But God exposed it. He brought out the true feelings of the president's wife's feelings. And most wives, they would cheer for her. I mean, that's the way it was, man. It was white against black. It was obvious. I mean, it was, you know, I mean, come on, brother. You own it. And
I know.
Love you. Keep doing what
Thank you.
do.
Let me knock out some more callers. Have a great weekend, brother.
You too.
Let's go to Fidel. Good morning, Fidel.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. The older generation and the younger generation, they're saying, hey, man, we ain't buying that way. We ain't saying yes, sir, no, sir, to some people that's disrespecting us. Hey, man, listen, you guys hit it on the money. When they get one that's a little bit more superb, they're going to make that their great white hope. And it's deserving because the white girl was out cold. But the fact of the matter is, she been taught and doing this the whole season, not just in the big dance in this last game. She's been doing.
She's been that way. You're right. That's the thing. And I mean, and I couldn't remember the phrase, but I'm glad that you and Jihad mentioned it because what I was looking for was that phrase, the Great White Hope. And I mean, you know, I got to tell you, I don't know if I said this before. Last year, I went and my son was in a track meet over in Illinois. And when I got there, I noticed that there was one guy that had, there was an entire, I mean, if not a whole side of the thing was all there. And they were all cheering for the person that was apparently he's the fastest runner in Illinois. And he was their great white. It's a syndrome. And they all have that. It's like there are 1,000 other athletes out there, and they're all cheering for that one person. That's the one that they're all putting their hope in. And I mean, we can spread ours throughout all of the members of the community. Every athlete got, you know, all of the black athletes, we cheer for them all. But that community, when they see one that can compete with the blacks, oh my God, they are all in on that one. And that's the one. You're right. The girl can play well. Understand that she, you know, they said, you know, she's gonna be the next Steph Curry. Can she score from no matter where she is on the court? Yeah. Did she have a couple of 40-point? Yes. She's a good player. And that's why, and I'm glad you brought that y'all said that phrase because I couldn't remember what it was. It was that's their great white hope.
Yeah. Let me say this. They trying to step it up. And what I mean by the younger generation, they're going to step it up enough. They're going to start going after ownership. They're going to realize, wait a minute, ho. We dominated football. We dominated basketball. And we don't own no team. That's the next step, ownership. And I'm going to put a little snake and be a little silly with, man, the sister look way better than the white girl. Ooh, the sister strapped to death. Oh, my God. The white girl, I don't see how anybody wants to see it.
I'm 60 years old. I ain't allowed to say that out loud. So, all right, brother.
That's why I say it for you.
All right. She's a teenager. I've got kids her age. Nah, I can't say that.
The sister is banging, thick, beautiful. The white, gross, man. Peace. I told you I'm going to put a little tank on there. I don't see how anybody can sleep with a silver anytime. Peace.
Have a good day, Fidel. 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. Got to take the second break of the morning. Grace, you're next. When we come back on the other side of the break, I know that she's ready to cut loose, and I'm going to let her cut loose in 3 minutes. We'll be right back.
My38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.c.al.
Flonetta.
at the Word Network.
Y'all need to read Flonetta's comment. I ain't reading that on the air, but she right.
910 Superstation is your number one source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Goodpods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising you'll ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new program on Mondays at 8 p.m. Catch a 2-hour block of Law and Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600. If you're just tuning in, we've been breaking down a bunch of different news stories, two of which involved a bunch of community involvement and catching and getting a rapist off the street so that now the Detroit police can take him through the court system, and then standing up for the now evicted owner of one of those little tiny homes over off of the Lodge Freeway. Two stories that show that the community can and will get involved, and that's the kind of thing that we want to encourage. We look for that to happen over and over again. But we're also talking about the story about the NCAA Women's Championship game, the fact that LSU won, and the fact that an entire team of athletes at Louisiana State won has not been talked about enough. The championship has been overshadowed by all of the media coverage of a gesture that was made by the leader of the LSU team, a young lady by the name of Angel Reese. She was slammed for making a hand gesture that she was basically feeding back to the Iowa player by the name of Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark had made the exact same statement. She had made the exact same hand gesture towards Angel Reese earlier, and everybody heralded, and at least white America all said, you know what, this is a great thing. Look at her. She's a sporting athlete. We like that. But when they saw a black girl do it back to the white girl, everybody lost their minds. Not everybody. The black community did. The black community stood up and said, hold on, wait a minute. It's all right when they do it, but not all right when we do it. That seems to be a little double standard. And then it got to the point where Joe Biden's wife, Jill Biden, who had been watching the game, said, well, you know what? We'll make up for it. We're going to invite both teams to come to the Rose Garden. And that's sort of in and of itself. Let me tell you this. If you don't have a Twitter account, y'all need to get one. You need to read the comments because there's stuff that people will say on Twitter. I forget the Elon Musk stuff, whether you're making it rich, don't pay him. I ain't paying for no check, any of that other stuff. But to read what Black Twitter has to say when people go wild like that, they served Joe Biden up. Now the White House has been in a position where they've got to backtrack and say, don't worry, we're not inviting them. We're going to give LSU their flowers and we're going to, honor them the way we've always honored championship teams. I don't care that the White House is trying to cover it up now. I don't even care that the white player, Caitlin Clark from Iowa, has put out statements saying that she understands and it was okay what Angel did, any of that other stuff. I don't need her permission. She's not going to solve this. My problem is society and Jill Biden in this case. Show their true colors. Show their true colors that there's still a standard in 2023 where they believe that one particular community, based on their skin color, is better than another particular community. And that's wrong, and that's what we need to change. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Grace. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Mr. Jackson. I'm really surprised you brought this topic ahead. But I am going to say everybody remembers Sha'Carri Richardson, track star, diva, on the track field, how she was blowing everybody out. They did the same scenario of this. They called her ghetto and all of this other stuff, and how she was blowing white girls out. But same people need to look back at it. Sha'Carri Richardson, how they really treated her. This young lady, bless for Dale, she is what she is. Period. Point blank. It is clearly racism across the board. On the other side, the whites hate, envious, and jealous. Clearly. And then white women are taking the seed for the black man and creating their own product of what we do and what is in us from our bone marrow. Absolutely. Racism across the board. But you know what? I'm glad people are taking their blinders off.
Taking the seed? Taking the seed?
Taking the seed or receiving it or him donating it, dropping it off in her. Yes, the white woman. And she's creating her own product. And we see this. The biracial boys are taking over, and scouts are scouting them out.
Let's be clear, biracial or not, they're still black. And what's wrong with? Hold on, Grace. I'm confused now. Y'all see this happens in the middle of the show, and now I got to take a headache pill because Grace just said, "What is wrong with? Why are we even setting up a different stage of let's shine the flashlight on the biracial children?" Biracial children are who they are supposed to be. I mean, what?
You know what? They are who they are because of their parents, the people that actually donated the egg and the semen. That's who they are. Period. Point blank. Carrie, you can play that if you want to, because I understand you have white people that you deal with and all that kind of stuff. But I choose not to be beholden.
I got a family full of biracial family members, and they are my family members. They can still give me, if I need a kidney, they can donate it. What the heck?
Mr. Carey, can I finish my statement? Okay, please. All right. It is an issue. It is an issue. College scouts are out there looking for those biracial boys.
What?
And you know what?
The college scouts are out there looking for kids who can compete. All right. That's a whole nother show that I promised a couple coaches we were going to do, and I ain't got around to it. College scouts are out there looking for kids whose parents have already put them in all of the camps. They've already hired them all of the trainers. They're sending kids to college now who are professional.
Let me talk. I thought you were going to let me talk.
Go ahead,
you got a whole show.
I'm just you because you didn't you on this. Go ahead, Grace. Go ahead, Grace.
I'm bringing it to the forefront, and people can follow. But it is what it is. It is a difference between our DNA and theirs. We are the truth. We are the first. We do it better. And then white women receive the seed. She extracts it from our black man, and then she creates her own product. It's out there. It's clearly out there. I just feel racism at its best, the white excellence at its best. And Jill Biden, she did what she normally do, and what's in the core of her, be racist. That's all. And it take our blinders off. We are better than them. And who is them? White folks. We are the truth. We walk, talk, smell better, do better. And it is us. We are the existence of America. Yes, it is about us. And they choose to compete with us. But you know what? This country was built because they actually structured it. We were added to it, but clearly people know across the board, it is about us. It is about us. We're the most oppressed race of people, nation of people in America. We are. They target us. We are the truth.
I'm not denying I would never deny you that you're right. They target us on a regular basis. I'm not going to argue with that point because you're absolutely right. The fact that America still in 2023 goes out of their way to suppress Black, whether they're Black athletes, entertainers, any single thing, that you are absolutely right. But I honestly think that we can't wind up deciding that we're going to be just as bad as they are by deciding that we're going to separate out members of our community and our families by saying somehow we need to point the finger at them because they're different than us. They are no different than us.
You know what, Carrie? It is very, very clear. The ones that are not walking around blind, if you still blind, you can tell there's a difference. And why we can't talk about it? Listen, I talk about it every
You can talk about it all the time, and I'm never going to tell you can't talk about it. I'm just going to tell you I don't agree with you. They're not different.
Okay.
They are not different. These are human beings. They are members of our families and members of our society. We don't need to wind up excluding them from anything or creating a whole different level for them.
Mr. Carey, let me explain this. We Black women, African American, whatever you want to call us, we can give birth to a Black baby. Then now a Black man gives his seed to a white woman and you say she created a Black baby. How in the hell can that happen? We have Black eggs in us.
Grace, you've seen the pictures of my kids. Grace, have you ever seen pictures of my kids?
Carrie,
understand this, Grace. If I am putting my seed in a Chinese woman, that child is going to come out with Jackson features. If I put my seed in a Korean woman, that baby going to come out with Jackson features. Understand this, that baby's still going to be Black.
You know what? Scientifically, no.
Scientifically, that kid is going to have the same gap in their teeth, the same nose I have, the same bushy eyebrows. I don't care who their mama is.
Carrie, we're talking about DNA there. I'm talking about the white man's title they put on us. Listen, they call those kids Black, but they're biracial kids. Why do they have to be Black? Why do they have to be Black? Those are the titles that white Americans.
Because they're members of our community and we open our arms and we embrace them. What do you mean? Why do they have to be Black?
You done bought into it.
I done bought into it because it's the truth. Please. It is not just DNA. They are members of our community. Please.
I did not say we need to ostracize them. I'm not putting them on a point.
Yes, you are. You're saying that if they didn't come out of a Black uterus, they're not Black. That's what you said. Okay. They're not biracial. They're still Black. They are going to, that kid is going to be Black no matter whose womb it came out of.
You bought into the titles that America gave you. Kudos for you, Carrie. Kudos for you. I don't need to buy into
But your definition is this: only a person can only be considered. Forget what the Supreme Court said. I don't always agree with them anyway. But according to Grace, if the child didn't come out of a Black woman's womb, hold on a second. So how about if the Black woman's womb produces, it got fertilized by a white man? Is the baby Black then, or is the baby biracial? Tell me your position.
My answer is the Maddie's Black. Hell yeah.
So no matter, wait. So there's a different standard. Grace has a different standard. You can let any man, a Korean, if a Korean store owner impregnates a Black girl in the community and the baby's born, you're still saying that baby's going to be Black because it came from a Black woman. But no matter whose seed she was carrying, is that what you're saying?
Carrie, listen, we are the vessel. We are the vessel. The woman is the vessel. Okay? Same thing for a white woman, Hispanic woman. We are the vessel. We already have the egg. All the man is doing is fertilizing it. He is not changing the structure of the egg to become what his sperm is, Carrie.
Ooh, my God, what happened to you, lady? Ain't
a damn thing happened to me. I am the truth. I walk in the skin that I am in. And
how did Grace get to be how she is? I got to go to break, lady. Thank you. I got to go to break. And y'all, I'm going to take a quick break because Grayston gave me a headache. And if I don't take the headache pill right at the beginning of the headache, it's going to mess with me the whole day. So we're going to take a very quick break. It's a 3-minute break. We'll be right back.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I've had no energy for months and months and months. I had no energy, and I'm a very active person. And my husband was noticing that I was tired all the time, and I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not. But I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days to taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Listen to the 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here at the studio is 313-778-7600. 313-778-7600. I've taken my headache medication, and I promise you, I know I'm supposed to check my blood pressure at 7 o'clock in the morning. I ain't doing it today. I'm going to wait till later in the day when I know the number's going to be lower. So, anyway, 313-778-7600. Long as we worked up, let's go to Tim. I want to talk to Tim. Good morning, Tim. How are you this morning? I need you to get near the microphone, brother.
Hey, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So first of all, Tim, did you see the election results out of Chicago? They had an opportunity to elect a Republican as mayor, and they passed on it. They decided that they were going to go with Chicago is now going to have
a Democrat.
He's definitely a Democrat, but the other guy is not. The other guy has run for office as a Republican. Well, I believe out in Pennsylvania, whatever. He has already bankrupted at least one or two different school districts. But he decided, he ran on the conservative platform. He got the police behind him. He was, trying to be Mike Bloomberg. He was pushing policies for stop and frisk and bunch people upside the head to reduce crime. And the truth of the matter is the the conservative voters in that city loved him, and they had him at the top of the polls until, you know, the election actually occurred.
Still, the teachers union got a part of it.
The teachers union said, "Tell you what, we gonna turn out," and they turned out. Apparently, the
Totally.
all of everything that I watched, because I watched the results for about 3 hours last night, and apparently, go ahead.
I have several friends high up there in the school system there in Chicago. They definitely brought the vote out, but there's not many conservatives left in Chicago. Hey, did you know who won a $121,000 lawsuit yesterday?
Was it yesterday? I think that Donald Jr. only put it up yesterday because his daddy was being arraigned. Was the opinion issued yesterday? Was the opinion against Stormy Daniels issued yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he won. He won a lawsuit against Stormy Daniels yesterday for $121,000. I know why you're not talking about it, Karen,
because I don't want to talk about Trump all the time.
It's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger. You know it. I know it. But hey, regarding what I'm going to kind of back up the first lady in a way. I mean, if you look at the NBA, right, and the teams that get together, they make a lot of great relationships among the teams, and it's a way to create equity.
They make great relationships because the team, they wind up, and when they go pro, they play for other teams and they trade off. They make lifelong friendships. I agree with all of that.
It's good for camaraderie.
It's good for camaraderie, all of that. I agree with you 100%. But here's the one thing that we don't do. We don't invite the losing team to the Rose Garden, period.
Well, I think they should start doing that. I think
you think that in this case, wait, for real, you actually say, no matter how much tradition is going into it, all of the sports, even in hockey, now this time when we've got two diametrically, let's just say racially different teams, we still should invite the losing team to the Rose Garden. That's your position, Tim? For real?
How do you pick the black people on the
island? The black people? The black people?
Yeah, how do you think they feel?
I don't know how the black people feel. Black people, Tim wants to know how y'all feel. Get on the phone, 313-778-7600. Tim wants to know how you, the black people, how do you feel? Bye, Tim. I'm finna ask the black people how they feel. Thanks for calling. Have a great day, Tim. Let's go to New Tim. New Tim, are you black?
Oh, man.
You know how Joe Biden got this definition of you ain't black if you don't follow these rules. So Tim wants to know how the black people feel. Are you black?
I just overlooked what the white Tim saying because I know he's an idiot. You know, for Jill Biden to do that, she shouldn't be up in the White House. I mean, she should be somewhere in the Patriots.
I definitely think she should lose her hall pass for a couple of weeks. I think they need to sit her down. Yes.
Oh, yes, because for her to sit back and say something like that, that just shows how racist she is. I mean, she is. And then that made me wonder about old Joe, because old Joe, you know, he is a known racist, you know. But let's get back to the segment about the two basketball players. You know, it was the commentary that started all of this. They were the one who started all of that. You know, when the little white girl did it, they were saying how competitive she is. And then soon the young black lady did it, they said she was classist. To me, it's not being biased, it's being racist. It's being racist. I mean, that's just like when Kanye says something anti-Semitic, the first thing they say that he needs to apologize and things like that because he said a slur towards the Jewish people. And I feel like the commentators of the basketball of that college basketball game, they need to apologize to the black people because that was a slur, calling us classics, calling her classics. They the one who started all of this.
Listen, I agree that. Now, first of all, let me just say this because we're gonna run out of time in a minute. I'm not real sure that it to me would be them apologizing at this stage would be similar to Jill Biden or the White House on behalf of Jim Biden putting out a statement that says we're not going to invite the losing team. I don't think they can fix that. I think that, and what my point in doing the show is just so that y'all can at least raise your antenna and pay attention that when folks, when they have their guard up, you don't really know who they are, and they're putting on their best example. But when they let their guard down and the stuff that slips out of their mouth, they're able to tell you who they really, really are. And that's what I want you to pay attention to. So y'all have a great day. Listen, tomorrow I'm live and in person back here, 6 to 7 tomorrow morning. And then Friday, I've already told Keisha we're not going to do a Friday show because Friday show is going to be pre-recorded. And all of the shows that will be on 9/10 over the weekend will be pre-recorded so that everybody can go out and have fun and enjoy some real family time. Family is precious, y'all. Spend time with your family and your friends while you can, because you have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. Get out, tell everybody that you love them. Tell at least 3 people that you love them today that you haven't told, that you don't tell usually. I mean, there are certain people I tell them I love them every single day. I want to tell some extra people that I love them today. Y'all get out, tell everybody that you love them. Y'all have a great day. I look forward to talking to each and every one of y'all tomorrow. Have a great day.